What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a hoot and a holler, a true banger. Today we're coming in with a classic acid story, one that I've been sitting on for quite a while. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you do, and also we are doing a merch giveaway, everybody. So for all you gamers out there who want some merch, but maybe you don't want to spend the money or you don't have the money, all you got to do is go to the tweet that is linked at the top of the description and follow the instructions over there to enter in the giveaway. Hey, it's really simple, very easy. We're going to be picking a few people to win a few things. Hey, it's going to be beautiful. Winners are announced in a week on June 29th, so I guess technically 8 days if you're watching this on the day this is made, but either way, yada yada, you know what I'm saying. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys have some good luck on that giveaway, and thank you in advance for entering. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and also, I'm cooking dinner right now, and I have a timer set. I have to go put some garlic bread in the oven in about 6.5 minutes. So I'm just warning you guys right now. But either way, let's dive right into it. So this happened way back in high school, and this was during my peak LSD consuming phase. And Ashton and I, we tripped together all the fucking time. As many of you guys are probably aware, Ashton was probably my most common trip partner, if you will, with Kyle, or Kevin, known in the stories, being a close second, right? However, Ashton and I trip together all the time, and on this particular day, he hits me up, and it's just a standard weekend, right? He hits me up, he's like, yo, dude, you should come over, right? I'm like, all right, bet. He doesn't tell me why, he's just like, link up. So I go slide over to his house, tell him I'm here. He lets me in, and this guy, I've mentioned this plenty in the past, but this guy's house is fucking crazy, dude. This guy has the nicest house. You walk in, and it's just like marble floor. Dude, this guy's house, I swear to God, this guy's parents had to be mafia or some shit, dude. This house was insane, but nobody ever, like, even he wouldn't tell me what his parents did, dude. It had to be mafia. But either way, back on topic here. So, we go upstairs. And we go into his room, and we're chilling, and we're just having a good old time, you know, playing some Counter-Strike like we always did. And he busts out some acid. And this was a pretty normal occurrence, right? He'd invite me over, and typically he'd bust out whatever drug we're going to do, and then we'd plan out our day. So he busts out some acid, and he's like, dude, we should try this shit. I got it from a different source, right? And I'm like, oh, bet. And normally, acid was one of the things where Ashton sometimes got it off the dark web, but then he also had a friend who he would get it from as well that wasn't like a dark web source, right? That I think I've talked about in past videos. But this particular source was a dark web one. He was like, yeah, the guy that I normally buy some coke off of on there, he put up a new acid listing, and he was really gassing these tabs up, right? So I'm like, all right, well, what's the dosage? Like, what's the scoop? And he's like, well, it said they were listed at like 120 UG, and I'm like, all right, that's pretty decent. That's not bad. And he's like, but dude, you're gonna love the fucking design on these. And I'm like, why? Like, what is it? Like, what's the design? And he opens up the fucking paper, and I swear to God, these were some of the sickest fucking tabs. It was Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory, dude. It was literally like the nostalgia trip when I looked at these. I just looked at these tabs, and I was like, dude, I want to take these now, bro. Like, I love this, dude. I always love creative blotter art, dude. I just love cool blotter art. I don't like when it's like, I don't know. So I might get some hate for this, but I don't like when it's like a sun or like some generic trippy shit. No, put fucking Dexter on there, dude. Put Codename Kids Next Door. Put some cool nostalgic shit on my tabs, right? Like, that's what I like to see, right? So he busts those open. He's like, isn't that fucking dope? And I'm like, yeah, dude, that's sick as fuck. Let's try some of these, right? And he'd bought a whole sheet of this stuff. And he was like, dude, this shit, honestly, the blotter looked pretty fire. And he's like, I've been buying from the guy for a while. So let's test it out, right? He told me he'd never tried this individual vendor's acid. So we both pop a tab. We pop our first tabs, and then we're sitting there, and we're chilling for maybe like 5 minutes. And we're like, dude, we should pop maybe like another tab and just see, we got to really test this shit, right? We got to pop another tab. So we kind of peer pressure each other into both taking more, right? So we both pop another tab. And we're chilling out, and Ashton gets hit up on his phone, and it's Megan. And Megan's hitting him up, and she wants to come over, right? And I believe this was before they were dating, or it might have been right when they started dating, but they were still, like, kind of a thing. I believe Megan's the name I've given her in the past, but she was a girl who I introduced him to, and then they just ended up, like, dating for a while, right? But either way, she hits him up and she asks to come over, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm with Nick. So she pulls on up. And then I'm there, and I'm like, well, I can't third wheel, so I hit up Ashley, and I'm like, yo, Ashley, what are you doing tonight? Like, do you want to come fucking chill out while me and Ashton trip? You can even trip balls with us. Ashley's like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm coming over right now. I want to trip sack, right? So I come over, or not I come over, pardon me, dude. Listen, I've been taking fat dabs all day, dude. The dispensary just got sauce in, and I'm wasting it really quickly, all right? It's going down the hatch. But either way, back on topic here. So Ashley comes over and Megan comes over, and now we've got a little event, and we're all chilling in Ashton's room, and we're trying to figure out what exactly to do, right? We're debating, we're going back and forth. And Megan was always a really outdoorsy girl, right? Like, Megan, like, if none of us had anything to do, if she was there, 99% of the time, we'd end up at some sort of field or park or forest preserve. No in between, right? Just some sort of outdoor, nature-y kind of spot. She loved that shit. And we're all sitting there trying to decide where to go. And she throws up the forest preserve. And Ashton and I are tripping. And Ashley wanted to start tripping with us. She's like, yeah, give me a tab, right? So I got her a tab. I paid Ashton for her to get a tab. Ashton offered to throw it for free, but I was like, hey, dude, let me be a gentleman in front of the woman, right? I was like, dude, let me pay for it in front of her, dude. You can give me the money back later. He's like, oh, yeah, I got you, bro. I'll hand you the money back. Fucking, I'm like, bet, dude. You're actually the realest homie ever. So I hand him the fucking like $10, make it look like I paid 10 for it, too. Like I got taxed, right? Fucking hand her the tab. She's like, oh, thank you. I'm like, oh, no problem, right? No problem, right? So we're chilling out, right? And now that she's got her tab, we decide, all right, let's actually go to the forest preserve. So we all hop into Megan's car, and we're driving, and Megan is just the worst fucking driver. And Ashton just never shuts up about it. Like, we would usually ride around in Megan's car if she was there. Like, if she was there, she drove there. And if she had her car, we'd ride in it, because she was never as fucked up as Ashton and I. We would be so sent, and she would just be our Uber, right? It was fucking awesome. He loved it. She would always get so mad when he'd call her Uber. It was great. But either way, so we're riding in Megan's car, and we're going to this forest preserve, and Ashton and I are just dicking around, dude. We're just talking about stupid fucking shit. And we're cruising, and we always used to, like, whenever we were tripping, we always used to just intentionally, like, start really dumb conversations to piss, like, the girls off. Like, it was a common thing where, like, whenever Ashton had Megan, I would invite Ashley over, so I wasn't, like, third wheeling, right? And we'd go out and do stuff together, right? And we'd all kick it. So we'd like to fuck around. So Ash and I, we were just starting the stupidest fucking conversations. We were like, dude, how many of these cars do you think have dirty Carfax titles, right? And we're driving around, we're like really talking about the girls, and we're like we look over to Megan, we're like, is your Carfax title dirty? And she's like, I don't know, what is that? And we're like, you don't know what a Carfax title is? And like we just start fucking with her, dude. We're just like, oh, dude, a Carfax title is really important, bro. You should have the Carfax, dude. Like, you really need the car. And we're just fucking with her, and she's getting pissed, dude. She's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about, right? And finally, we get over to the forest preserve, right? And we go park up, and this forest preserve was never a good spot. I don't know why we kept going to this forest preserve, because it sucked, right? There was always cops. It was a very common place for speed traps. And, like, it was probably the only forest preserve where, like, you'd actually see a lot of people, right? But we'd always go here because it was, like, it was big as fuck. So, like, yeah, you'd see a lot of people, but you could go off the path, and you could get really far off the path and really get in there. Oh, shit, chat. I gotta go move my tots. Hey, I gotta go move the tater tots up a rack and put the garlic bread in there. Hey, I'll be right back. Hold on, gamers. All right, we got the garlic bread in the oven, baby. So, back on topic here. So, we get to this forest preserve, and we get out. And for those of you guys who are OGs to the channel, you might remember I actually told a story a long time ago where I lost my phone at a forest preserve, and it got found by like a forest ranger. This is the same forest preserve. We went here pretty often, right? But either way, back on topic here. So, I go, and we hop out the car, right? And we walk into this forest preserve, and we're strolling down the path. And there's kind of two ways you can go, right? There's like this bike path where it's kind of open and not really good space. And then you can take this like bridge where it crosses across this little river. and you're just in the fucking cut after that. Like, you're in this giant, sprawling preserve where there's just hella twists and turns, and if it weren't for signs and internet, you'd probably get lost. Just an absolute madland, right? So we're walking around, and Ash and I are just picking up every item we can see and just chucking it. And at this point, the acid is starting to hit Ashley, too. So Ashley's just like, yo, I'm really starting to trip balls. And we're feeling good, right? We had come up at this point, and we're just feeling great, right? We're absolutely living life, dude. I'm talking, like, this was some great shit. Like, granted, we took 2 tabs, so really how bad of a trip are you gonna have? But the visuals on this shit were amazing. I'm talking everything. I think the best way to describe this was I was walking around like I had a fucking fisheye lens on, dude. And it was sick. I don't know, like, it was like I was playing a PC game with my FOV2 cranked. Like, it was a really weird experience, but it was awesome at the same time. Like, everything felt surreal almost, if that makes sense. Like, I just felt like an FPS video game character, and we're walking around picking up fucking pine cones, we're picking up fucking rocks, and we're just throwing them around and shit. And there's people passing us, looking at us, and we just don't have a care in the world, right? And eventually, we come to this point where Megan's like, yo, we should go off the path. So we're like, all right, let's go off the path, whatever. And we're strolling off this path, and I didn't bring shit for weed, dude, right? I'm just tripping balls. This is one of the few instances where I actually didn't bring any bud, right? But I didn't give a fuck. We're walking out there, and as we get out there, Megan opens her fucking bag and busts out a pack of Swishers. And I'm like, oh, no way, dude. Did Megan pull up with blunts? And she pulls up, and she's like, all right, I got blunts, and I got weed, but one of you guys is going to have to roll for me. And Ashton looks over to me, and he's like, dude, you definitely got to roll this. I can't even smoke this, right? So I'm like, all right, bet. So I go sit down, right? And at this point, we're enough off the path where we're kind of in, like, we could still see the path pretty clearly, but we're like through the tree line, and there's like kind of a little line of bushes that we're now sitting in front of, right? And there's just this big open clearing in front of us, and we're chilling. But like we're not really hidden either. Like, realistically, if you were on the path, you could definitely fucking see us if you looked, right? But either way, I'm sitting down, and I start attempting to roll this blunt. And I say attempting because there's nothing to roll it on. We didn't bring anything. I tried rolling it on, like, the biggest rock we could find. I remember Ashton, Ashley, and I, we all had to scramble for the biggest fucking rock we could find. We were like, dude, look for a rock. And Megan's looking too. But she wore, like, for some reason, she wore flip-flops. And when we went off the path, she was just not happy about it. She was like, oh, there's rocks, there's leaves in my shoes. So we're just walking off the fucking path, right? We're not walking off the path, right? We're already off the path, right? Jesus Christ, dude. Listen, I'm too stoned today, chat. Y'all can't let me get high before I make my videos. I start fucking up, dude. Either way, we're all looking around for these fucking, the biggest rock we can find. Just any rock, dude. And everyone's grabbing handfuls of, like, medium-sized rocks and picking up just any object they can find. I remember at one point, Ashley picks up, like, this dirty, rotten piece of wood. And I'm like, dude, we're all gonna get some sort of transmittable disease if I roll on that, so no fucking chance, right? And finally, we just decide, like, fuck it, dude. We're gonna have to roll on something, right? Like, we're gonna have to, like, find, like, an actual, like, surface to roll on. So I'm walking around, and I see this, like, little rock sticking out of the ground. Just a tiny little rock that almost looks like you could sit on it. Like, the perfect kind of rock to sit on, right? And I just go kneel down on it, and I kneel down, and my knees get all fucking muddy, dude. Because I guess it had rained recently. I didn't fucking know. But the shit was muddy over here. It wasn't muddy where we cut off the fucking path, but now it's muddy as shit where I found this rock and kneeled down. So my knees are covered in mud. But I'm tripping sack and don't care. I try to gut this blunt, fuck up the first one, start gutting the second one, and Ashton is just, he's like, dude, don't fuck this one up. He's like, whatever you do. He's like, don't fuck it up, dude. The hoes need it. I'm like, all right, dude, fine. I'm giving it a go. And I got it right. And I start rolling it up. And thank fuck I rolled this one up properly, dude. I actually rolled a pretty decent blunt. And I finish rolling it up, and I spark it up. And once I hit the blunt, I really got sent to Jupiter, dude. I spark it up, and I pass it over to Ashley. And Ashton's standing there, and while we're all smoking the blunt, he's like, so, you guys like smoking mid, dude? And Megan gets really offended, and she's like, my shit is not mid. She's like, if you could smoke it, you would know, but you can't, right? And she's trying to, like, rub it in. And he just goes off on, like, this stupid ass fucking, like, he goes off one of those stupid little, like, commentaries him and I do, where he just be like, dude, Nick, he just completely tune her out and be like, Nick, dude, and I'd be like, what? Be like, do you think the trees are thinking about us right now? And we used to always say this to Megan because it would piss her the fuck. I don't know why, but whenever he would say that, it would just piss her off. So he'd just be like, Nick, dude, you think the trees are, like, thinking about us right now? I'd just be like, yo, yeah, dude. They're probably thinking good thoughts, right? He'd be like, what do you think they're thinking? She'd just be like, you gotta shut the fuck up, dude. So we're just doing this whole little shtick where we're just like, you think the trees are thinking about us? For like an hour, bro. We sit there, we finish this blunt, and we're still just walking around, kind of like, we're not even like doing shit. We're just talking. And eventually, these forest rangers come by, and they were in these, like, they looked like feds, bro. These motherfuckers look just like feds. They were in these, like, tan outfits, bro. These motherfuckers, like, they might have just been cops, now that I think about it. Like, I didn't walk up and ask the fucker if he was a forest ranger, but the dude was definitely at least a forest ranger, right, from what I could see. But we see these dudes from afar, and we're like, oh, shit. Because this is one of those really uptight forest preserves, like I said earlier, where there's usually a lot of cops. And also, they're really on ass about going off the path here. Like, as not to, disturb the wildlife and shit. They're really on ass about that, as they are at most forest reserves. But especially this one, right? So we're like, oh, shit. So we're kind of ducking down a little bit. We're trying to chill the fuck out. We're like, oh, can't let them fucking see us, dude. And we get up, and we're like, oh, bet, dude. We're good to go, bro. Like, we think they're gone, dude. We're perfect. And we get up. And we get ready to spark up a cigarette, right? We're like, yo, dude, we need a little cigarette break. So we stand back up. We're sparking up our squares, right? Ashton bums me a cig, right? I didn't have my smokes on me, but luckily he bummed me a port. God, I fucking hate ports, dude. I always smoked Marbrads. I don't smoke anymore. But fuck me, I always hated ports, chat. But I'd smoke them in times of need. Like, when you're tripping, cigarettes, dude, they send you to Jupiter, right? And at this point, my fingers were tingling. Like, at this point, that blunt had sent me so far into the stratosphere that, like, my entire body was tingling. If I was having a heart attack, I would have never known, right? But either way, we spark up these cigarettes, and I guess we had just kind of assumed that they were gone. Like, they walked out of our peripheral, and we were just like, oh, okay. I guess they're just gone forever, right? And I don't know how all four of us didn't notice that they weren't completely gone. But once we stand back up and spark up, they're like, hey! And they yell at us, and they're like, hey, guys! And we look back, and we're like, oh, fuck. And Ashton just books it, dude. Ashton just flies, bro. And we're all standing there, and we're like, what the fucking Ashton is? This motherfucker was so fast, dude. Like, I'm talking, this kid was Speedy fucking Gonzalez, dude. This kid could move when he needed to, bro. So he's flying through the preserve in a random ass direction, tripping balls. And I'm tripping sack too, trying to keep up with him, right? I'm just trying to keep up. I'm like, holy fuck. And I look back and the girls are behind us, dude. And Ashley's keeping up pretty good. Megan's in her flip-flops, so she's not doing so great, right? And we're all just flying. We're trying so hard. And I don't even know why we're running. I don't think we were getting chased. Like, I remember looking back and just, like, thinking we were getting chased, but I don't ever remember seeing anyone, dude. Like, I'm pretty sure we were not actually getting chased, but nevertheless, at this point, we weren't really getting chased. We were more so chasing Ashton because he just booked it. So we're flying, and I'm cutting through the mud. My shoes are all getting fucked up. We're booking it, and this motherfucker's just going, dude. And I'm trying to yell to him. I'm like, yo, like, slow down, bro. And he eventually slows down after what felt like forever. It was realistically maybe like a 3 or 4 minute jog or a sprint. No, that was a sprint, actually. That motherfucker booked it. But now at this point, we're completely lost in the forest preserve, right? Like, we have no idea where the fuck we are, bro. Like, we kind of started off running in the direction we came from, but we did not, right? So what we had to do was we literally just walked until we were out of the tree line. And this forest preserve, luckily, like, once you got out of the tree line, it was a very open kind of field where you could see the road. So we just made our way to the road, and we had to, like, gauge where we were from there, dude. We had to be like, oh, we're on this road. We'll just walk along it. And it ended up taking us, like, an hour and a half of just tripping balls and walking alongside the road to find our way back to our car, right? Because Megan's the only one who wasn't completely fucking sent there. Ashley's tripping, I'm tripping, Ashton's tripping. And we are all trying to walk and navigate our way back to where we parked because we didn't even know where in the preserve we were. But luckily, we figured out what road we were on pretty quick, right? And, like, yeah, you can technically fucking maps, but maps doesn't show, like, the road of the, like, preserve, right? It's not going to show us how to get out, bro. Like, it's just going to be like, oh, yeah, you're here, right? So we had to get the fuck out of there and get our bearings and then finally get our way back to our parking spot. So we're just walking along the road, dude, walking back to the parking lot, and we're fucking blown, dude. We're tweaking balls at the same time, absolutely tripping sack. And we finally get back to Megan's whip and hop in, and we're all just covered and caked in sweat and fucking dirt from just sprinting, dude. And we chill out, we hit McD's, dude, we grab some fucking food, and we're still just chilling out, tripping sack. And it was a wonderful night. I remember Ashley had to go home, so we ended up dropping her off, and then I ended up spending the night at Ashton's that night, and waking up the next day, and then going to pick up Ashley. Oh, there's my timer. My timer's run off. Perfect timing. And going to pick up Ashley to bring her back to get her car, because we all drove to Ashton's. We all parked in this little cul-de-sac, right? So we chilled out. I remember we went back, and it was just me, him, and Megan kind of kicking it for a while at his crib. Then Megan went home, too, and I crashed it on his fucking floor, dude. It was not comfy, but, I mean, I was tripping balls, so we just stayed there tripping balls and gaming all night, dude. But either way, it was pretty lit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you, gamers. Don't forget to enter in the merch giveaway, and I will see you guys next time. Deuces.